The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Blanca, the founder of the Laws of Life platform. So excited today because we have a big announcement in the Laws of Life platform. I have scoured the universe for the most engaging, amazing co-host, and I have found him. So let me introduce, without further ado, the new co-host with me, the laws of empowering entrepreneurs, Natan Verkhovsky. Natan, how are you?
Oh, what a blessing to be here. Hi, Blanca. Thank you so much for having me.
It is such a pleasure, and you have such a wealth of information in so many different areas. Natan, I want you to tell us about your background. I mean, I know you're an author. So you know what? Just educate us. Who is Natan Verkhovsky?
Dun, dun, dun. No pressure. Here's your 30-second elevator pitch. For me, I've been an energy coach for the last 25 years to Cirque du Soleil elite performers, acrobats, artists, athletes at the highest possible level. And in it, we were looking at activation levels, ways to control your energy and go up, down, and neutralize at your will. So if you're out drinking with Team China, Japan, Russia, and France, and everyone's got an ego and trying to outdo the other one, and you guys come up at 8 o'clock in the morning, true story, and realize, I thought it was Friday. No, guys, this is Saturday. We're actually competing in half an hour. Everyone's drunk. What do we do? I'm energetically at a 2 out of 10. I've been drinking all night, and I need to get to 8 out of 10 real quick. Don't tell me that your coach has a pep talk or some motivational thing. There has to be a drill, a technique, an exercise, something that can physically, mentally, or emotionally move my activation level. So that's what I was blessedly, happily doing for the last 25 years. I've had about 10,000 people come through my hands, my systems, my first best-selling book, Personal Momentum. My wife told me to take some time off in December this year. So before my birthday, I wrote my second book, Moments of Power, Quotes from the Wall of Wisdom. And we'll get into that a little bit later because I think we can dabble like an oracle and have some fun.
So literally you've been training world-class athletes to raise their energy levels so that they can perform some of the most dangerous and treacherous exercises. We're talking about Cirque du Soleil performers. We're talking about Olympians. We're talking about some of the greatest athletes. Now, that is quite a credential to train people of that caliber. How did that happen?
I'm an immigrant with my parents from Russia. So when your parents come from Russia, you do what your parents do. My mom was a concert pianist. So at 12, I was and won the Aquinas Music Festival. My dad was an Olympic gymnast and acrobat. He's in the Acrobatic Hall of Fame in their Gallery of Legends. So he's a big deal. And that was 2016. So that's a recent induction. He's been with Cirque du Soleil for about 30 years at their highest possible level. So as a director of design and performance and that kind of head coach capacity, I had a chance to come in and take a look at these people. And when you're plagued with Natan, you don't understand. It's a quadruple twisting, triple backflip. I'm like, right, I get it. There's a lot of movement going on here. He goes, yeah, but it's totally different than my triple twisting, triple backflip. I'm like, but it's not, because I guarantee that's what you said when you're doing the double twisting before you went to the triple. This is just a progressional. It's an add-on. It's a stage. Yet every stage that we go, like moving up one level of diving board, feels fundamentally different. 1 meter diving board does not feel like 3 meter diving board. It feels like, oh, heck no, this is a completely different world. And that is not the way 5 or 7 or 10 feel.
So you can help us as entrepreneurs. And obviously you and I are now in the circle of entrepreneurs of all different kinds. And
Yes.
we're both on a similar mission dedicated to empowering entrepreneurs. You also have your platform called the Eternal Academy, where you, sorry?
The Essential Academy.
Oh my gosh. Sorry,
Yes.
the Essential Academy, where you have provided a platform for entrepreneurs to teach courses, network with one another. So tell us about your
Mm.
academy.
I was happy as punch for the last 25 years with about 10,000 of these incredible people working with me and playing in that sphere. I was good. And then COVID hit and I had to pivot like everybody else. So I came online
Ooh.
going, you know what? My wife was a contract administrator at a surgical supply company, and she gets laid off. And I'm like, of all the people who are first responders needed, I'm like, we're going to need some masks. You guys got laid off? Yikes. I was coaching a company downtown, $30 million company, executive coaching with their salespeople to get them more energy between calls and all that fun stuff. And they're like, it's January 10. We're hearing some weird things. It's February, Natan. We may have to lay you off. It's March, Natan. We're bankrupt. I'm like, you guys are a $30 million company. Holy crap. So COVID changed the horizon. I looked at my wife and said, this may not be the best time to take thousands of dollars out of savings, but they're telling us this is going to be over in 3 weeks. And I'm not really sure that that's going to be accurate. Seems to be a whole heck of a lot of hoopla if this is going to be over in 3 weeks. There's a lot of energy being created for this. I don't think that's in conjunction with what we're saying. So I said, let's go in, let's try. And my wife knows me. That's a picture of us on our 25th wedding anniversary, our silver. We've been 29 years blessedly together so far.
Aw.
So she's like, you're going to open a company. Your
Wow.
chances are, I just
So
know
this
you.
is new. This is
Yeah.
I mean, it's a couple
Oh,
years
June
old now.
2020. June 2020, the essentialacademy.org got open because in February and March, I went through this process where I'm like, I got to find an online guru. Somebody's going to show me the way, figure out how to take my education, experience, and expertise and translate it to something credible online.
Were you digitally adept at the time of this shift?
I had 100 friends on Facebook and maybe 300 or 400 connections on LinkedIn, and that was it. We now have, I'm at 7,000 plus on LinkedIn, 3,000 on Facebook. So more than 10,000 overall in that little period of time, 99% of it because they were just trying to grow and come in, and it wasn't me going outbound. So the marketing effort was do the right things that people will request. And I had 20 requests a day to just be my friend. So in the beginning, I was just like, woohoo, and clicking yes to everybody. After a little while, I was like, we might want to be a little more selective.
That's literally unbelievable. And so this platform that so we
Let me,
really
I haven't even gotten to you to the platform. I apologize. So I'm with this online guru and I'm paying thousands of dollars to learn how to make a webinar and a funnel and a landing page, and hopefully MailChimp and Squarespace don't disconnect randomly just because, they do every 6 hours. And I'm going nuts. I haven't slept in 2 months and I'm trying to understand how the heck this works. Because on the online, like offline real world, no problem. You stand on stages, you meet people, you make connections, you get paid, life moves on. Online, you can buy likes, you can buy followers, you can buy shares, you can buy connections, you can spend $10,000 on a website that makes you look like a bazillionaire. And meanwhile, I'm like, do you ever get your 10,000 bucks back? Oh God, no, Natan. I have no clue how online works. So there's that level of trying to organize the chaos. Otherwise, the chaos will destroy you. And I hated who I became. I hated spending 40 hours a week driving traffic to a webinar that if hopefully I sold enough crap, I don't have to get a job on Monday. I'm like, this can't be it. Damn it. And so I put my hand up and I said, anybody else not want to be a used car salesman? Is there anybody else who just like me has education, experience, and expertise, doesn't want to just sell some crap, but actually wants to teach something? And those first half dozen people came with me. I said, I don't want to play around. I don't want Kajabi or something that, give me 20 bucks and download a PDF. Let's pretend that's education. That's not learning.
So what makes your academy different?
One, it's a learning management system. So it's on an actual platform, the same as University of Toronto or Scotland or whatever would be on. It gives you the chance to collaborate internally. You can follow, share each other. We have our own InMail. Zoom is a native integration, so we don't have any technical difficulties. The ability internally is supported by you as an instructor to come in and say, okay, do I want to create courses? Wonderful. Do I have any clue how to do that? Yes, I've put a bunch up on Kajabi. Beautiful. Learning path? Watch my hour of videos, learn how to make it, begin. I actually have no clue. Wonderful. Join the 90-day onboarding process. You get an accountability partner, another instructor going through the same thing just like you. And in those 90 days, you will make and create and sell your first course. That's the entire program.
Very cool. So you're also teaching the people that come into the academy.
Because they're coming in as a big deal. They all got
they're not only teaching, but you're teaching them how to package their wisdom or their laws of life. And that's why I see the synergy in our platforms.
Yeah. Because where I loved what Laws of Life was doing was giving these people, some of these people, are at a very, very basic level, but in their head, they're extremely far advanced. And we just need to manifest that. That's going to cost $1 and take a minute, but we need to just begin. I talk to other people that technically, both on paper and in other ways, look like they're playing at this level. But the stinking thinking is messing them up, and they're dematerializing their wealth, their power, their influence, their sphere of love and light, their good that they're doing, and they can't understand. And that frustrates them, and it's this negative spiral. Wow. So in that context, I come to people and I make it clear that my community is private. It's invitation only, by referral only. We have 70 handpicked instructors. You're one of our most blessed and newest ones to join us, Blanca. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I am so honored. And I'll tell you, when it comes to a collaboration, energy is extremely important. And the two people that are working together have to have collaborative energy. Obviously, you're an energy expert. Now, one of the titles of this episode is Why Digital Courses Are the Wave of the Future. Now, you have dozens and dozens and dozens of instructors on your platform. So I encourage everyone to visit Natan's platform. Can you shout out your website where people can learn more about the Academy?
Absolutely. Just punch in www.essentialacademy.org. That's it. I don't know why, but for some reason you got to put the www. That's why I say it.
All right. So we will put that on the screen. And I want people, remember guys, our webcast is interactive. So the goal is that we want you to ask questions. Just because we're live, we don't want you to just listen. Natan wants you to ask questions. What is Natan's platform? Get to the questions. Do it all. Get it done. So you have the ability to become a professor in the Essential Academy, but it is by invitation only. We've posted Natan's Calendly link on the screen. You can also set a meeting with Natan and get to know him, get to know both of us, and get in this platform. And what's the hardest thing about creating the digital course, in your opinion?
Getting over the tech stuff, because everybody's got a little something, whether it's making this or doing that or this or that. If you're okay watching a YouTube video, spending 20 minutes to get educated so that you can then go do the right thing, you'll be fine. I have an hour of videos to watch to show you how to make a course. If it was more complicated than that, I couldn't do it in an hour.
So your platform is, they're building their course on the Essential Academy. They're getting training from the Essential Academy.
They're getting promotion. So we're on dozens of our own internal private instructor only events. If we're handpicking the best people around the world, I'd like you to meet them. And then we have external events. So people like JVIC, JV Directory, all the big joint venture companies and stuff, they love us. They gift us memberships and things and wonderful gifts and trainings. They make sure that we have the ability to raise up all of our instructors. That's why right now we're working on international course accreditation, so that those of us that want to play and properly teach and are pedagogic and want to be an educator don't just have to put on a couple $1,000 online course for other online people. They can literally put on the real deal, a real course with course credit transfers to other universities worldwide.
We are going to run a commercial on the Roku channel. And then I have so many questions to ask Natan. Let's run the Roku. Let's celebrate the shows on Roku. Let's go. Check out our... so we are back with Natan Verkhovsky, my newest, most amazing, most empowering entrepreneur that inspires me. So, but tell me a little bit more. I mean, do you think that the whole world's going to go to digital courses? Is that where our world's going?
That's why 110% of everybody, the people that had to go offline in the COVID times, have no choice. Some of them came back, some of them didn't. We're looking at, I don't even know what percentage of businesses worldwide stopped. That's a lot of people trying to figure out now what.
No, that's definitely true. And interestingly enough, I myself went through a massive shift. Right before COVID happened, I started the Laws of Life. It was like October,
Wow.
I think it was July 19. I was doing live events. I was doing empowerment events in Boca, Panama City, throughout the state of Florida. And then I was doing a networking event every week with about 50 people. We did fashion shows. We brought in opera singers. We brought in violinists. It was so much fun being together. And we were building this energy. And then the COVID hit, and then I transitioned to the Zoom. But you're absolutely right. The digital, the mastery of digital education is critical. And that is why the Laws of Life platform does offer the free digital class on Wednesday night at 5 p.m.
That's so
And
important.
every week we teach something different. So maybe one night, one Wednesday, you could come and teach us for an hour if you'd be open to that.
Welcome to, and I definitely could bring people that are way more educated, experienced, and qualified than me to pop in. You know that expression when you go into a room and you're like the best dressed or the smartest or the richest person in the room, you're in the wrong room? I am never in the wrong room in my academy. Everybody has always got more of all of the above. So yes, of course I could bring myself, but I could also bring some heavy hitters to help out too.
Amazing. Yeah, maybe we can do a collective class on a topic. Maybe we could do a panel on a Wednesday night. I saw
you guys were doing something. It was awesome. There was this new training for a pepper.
Yes.
Absolutely. It was very cool.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So now the other catchy title of today's episode is also, I was fascinated by your savviness in drills to create levels of energy. Could you give us a glimpse, maybe give us some practical exercises? Teach us.
Okay. If we're looking at energy and we want to not be able to, you know how when you're telling yourself something, you want to make sure that it's real and true, and you're like, yeah, am I just convincing and telling myself, or is it absolutely true? If you want it to feel genuine, you want the arms on your hand to stand up. You want to be tingling and in connection to source. You want to be in pure alignment. You want to know that this is a tingly moment for a reason. Okay. You cannot trick yourself if you're trying to trick yourself with your own words. The first person who hears anything you say is you. Mind yourself and what you say out loud. Grab your pulse. Find it. When you find the beat of your heart, some people find it on their neck, which is impressive. I find it on my wrist. Now, as you find your pulse, whether you're in a state of anxiety and you're going bump, 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 or whether you're in a state of complete calm and going bump, 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 doesn't matter. This is the beauty of this drill. It's called a biofeedback breathing exercise. So whatever state of anxiety or lack of anxiety you're in, this will completely neutralize it. Now that you found your pulse, good. 3 inhales of your beat. Bump, bump, inhale. Bump, bump, inhale, bump, bump, inhale. Hold for 3 beats of your heart. Exhale for 3 beats of your heart. Hold at the bottom, empty for 3 beats of your heart. Inhale 3 times. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. Hold for 3. And out. How do you feel? Yikes, we have you.
I feel very calm and tranquil.
That's 30 seconds. Imagine if we had 5 minutes, what we would do.
So are you a master of do you consider that, what category is that exercise? Is it energy? Is it meditation? Is it breathing? How do you categorize it?
I put that as an energy drill. It's the closest I could come up with. It's the only way that I was able to find that you could trick yourself no matter what. Because people say, take deep breaths and take a relax. I'm like, yeah, but I'm freaking out, man. I just saw something traumatic and I'm like, I need you to do this. And at the same time, other people are like, I'm already calm and relaxed. I don't want to take a couple more deep breaths. I'm going to go take a nap.
All right, we're going to play a speed question. I'm going to ask you 10 questions about energy. I want you to tell me the first answer that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Go.
I get a really negative thought, something negative, a self-deprecating thought. What do I do?
You go and do an exercise on a rowboat where you have a bag, a rock, and a rope. And you take all those damn negative thoughts, all those damn negative people, all those damn negative things that you've done to yourself and that other people have done to you your entire goddamn life. You put them in that bag, you pick up that rock like a mother who can pick up a car off her child, and you smash it in. You take that rope, you tie it around, you put it all over your head, superhuman strong, you count to 3 and you throw it. And when it hits the water and evaporates and disappears, it's gone from you, from your conscious, your subconscious, and out of your life forever. Next question.
Wow, I'm just so blown away by that one. All right, so you have to visualize these items. All right, next question is, you wake up in the morning and you're just so like blah, like I don't want to start today. How do I change my mindset to get positive?
You need to kick your own butt and decide, are you in this circle of people between the haves and the have-nots? The people that either have enough time and have enough money to stay online in a blessed capacity? Because if they don't, then they have to go get a job like the rest of us. You want to play in that pool between I have just enough to live and survive and to stay in here or not? Or do you want to play in a new pool between the haves and the have-yachts?
I love that. I've never heard that one.
Wake yourself up in the morning with that.
Something you said when you were talking about the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going from triple flips wazoo to quintuple flips wazoo, and they're freaking out because they're stepping up. And as entrepreneurs, we also want to step up and become more professional, speak at more prestigious engagements, and also rotate in more prestigious circles.
Yeah.
What's your advice to an entrepreneur that's scared to step up?
Watch YouTube videos. Go and see those that have gone 3 steps before you. Empty your cup, humble up, and realize you may be a big deal in whatever the heck you do over here really well. Over here, you have no darn clue what you're doing. Go to those that have gone 3 steps ahead of you and absorb. Be a sponge. I remember my first time I was on stage. I'm giving a presentation speech and this and that and that. It was very different than the first time I was on a proper stage where they're like, great, so your signature talk will be ready? And I'm like, signature talk? That sounds cool. What's that? I want one of those. And they're like, yeah, you better have at least 3 of those. I'm like, crap. YouTube. What is a signature talk? Empty your cup. Humble up. Act like
that's important. You definitely need. I actually have a signature talk. I just didn't know it was called that. So every minute, just being surrounded with new people. And I'm just so blessed. You are such a blessing, Natan, to be a co-host and to be my new friend. And I'm loving what we're creating. And I think you have a talent that you don't give me. You make people feel very safe and unjudged. You have an intrinsic love energy in your way of being.
Thank you.
So my question is, where did that come from?
That came from 40 years of martial arts. When you see my LinkedIn and Facebook, you'll see me in my full samurai gear with a sword and a very serious expression on my face, because I created a private community that I guard very, very preciously. And I make sure that it's a sacred place for transformation, that everybody feels safe. 75% of all my instructors in my faculty are women. 95% of all of my private energy coaching clients are women. I want to ensure that that's done right. In another life, back in my 20s, I was going through Concordia University, and I remember I created literally a woman's self-defense course just for them internally so that I could help out after decades in martial arts. So I came as an immigrant, and the martial arts said, this is self-defense. they also said, confidence, this, that, flexibility. I'm like, no, I'm not here for a workout. I'm getting beat up at school because when you're an immigrant and you're, housing projects and you don't have money, that's one thing. You don't make the best dress list. But when you're poor, it's different than being an immigrant because there's a cultural shock difference. When my family comes from Russia and my mom doesn't know better, and God bless her, she's trying. So she's at the recession store, that secondhand store, and she's buying me, looks really nice. It's a jogging suit, right? Oh, this is cool. Spider-Man jogging suit. You look awesome. I go to school in grade 5 and I get sent home because it's not a jogging suit. It's actually Spider-Man pajamas. Real close. Kind of looks like a jogging suit. And as I got the crap beat out of me to inform me of that and then get sent home, that's when I'm like, yeah, martial arts, if you said that this is self-defense, that's it. I mean, that's the part I need. I don't need this to be fun or confidence building. I need the actual self-defense part.
So martial arts was your ticket to survival from the bullies.
Since 8 years old, yeah. Yeah. I've been stuffed in lockers. I've had, the 3 kids on BMX bicycles chase you and grab you and the movie crap. Yeah. Absolutely.
I myself was also pretty severely bullied. Interesting that we both came out so positive. I am also the child of European parents, Romanians. And so sometimes, when they're in, first, I am the firstborn American in my family.
Yep.
Were you born in Russia?
Born in Russia. My little brother, he was here.
Okay. So that does cause a lot of differentials that subject you to being bullied, I think.
Yes.
What were your parents like, though? When you went into were your parents loving? Were they sweet?
Oh, of course, 100%. And they're so hardworking and set an incredible example. You got my mom, who's a concert pianist with 7 gold medals on international competitions, but we're in immigrant low-cost housing, and so she's working as a waitress at Tom's Pizza. You got my dad, who's an international gold medal, winning gymnast and acrobat and Olympian, and he's selling vacuum cleaners and hopefully one day selling trampolines. And before then, he works at a restaurant, and they're like, whoa. You don't even get to touch the sandwiches. First, you start on dishes. So it's that level of humility. It's that level of, I don't know if it was right or not, but I don't think they ever paid for a babysitter. I kind of raised myself up. They're working double jobs. They're making it real. And the first thing they spent their money on was to get my mom a piano, a crappy little upright, so that now she could have piano students at home. And to invest in you. Always, always, always. If you spent the time and the energy to teach yourself and learn something, invest in you. Give yourself that stage. Give yourself that opportunity. Otherwise, nobody's ever going to know. It's horrible.
That's beautiful. It does raise an interesting question, though. Your parents were both extraordinarily accomplished. Your mother in music, your father as an Olympian gymnast. But yet the money did not match the success of the gold.
We struggled as people who couldn't understand it. My mom very quickly realized real estate seems to be an interesting thing. So I never had a house that I grew up in. My wife, she's got the same damn house. Her parents still have the house. It's still there. They're retired. They're in their 70s. Same damn house. For me, I can name you 20 houses. Every 2 to 3 years, my mom would flip the house and we'd win. So we'd move neighborhoods and areas, and she'd be like, hey, we bought this one at 120. Oh, I'm dating myself, right? You buy this one at 120, you sell it at 180. Holy crap, that's $60K. What's your next one? 240. Perfect. You sold that at 350. Boom, boom. We're playing the real estate game. I never had friends or neighborhoods or schools that I could stay more than 2-3 years. And at the same time, my dad is focusing on the normal straight development course. So at 14, when I'm like, looking at all my friends, and I took a job at McDonald's and I got the $4 an hour. That's dating you. It was awful. That was painful because the concept of, hey, there's no one in here. It's 11 o'clock at night. Everything's clean. Everything's empty. Everything's done. They're like, I don't care. You're being paid to work. Keep wiping the table or spray this down. I'm like, but I already sprayed it down. I already cleaned it. I don't care. Do something. I'm like, that feels off-putting to me. And I'm like, every hour that I work, I either work for myself or I work for someone else. It's pretty binary.
Well, that's the key with being an entrepreneur. You remind me. So did your parents ever make it financially in their arts?
Of course.
They did. Okay, good.
After 30 years at Cirque du Soleil, my dad's fine. He's in the top percentage of the world in that concept. My mom, as a concert pianist, did wonders things, but then she came over to NLP and timeline therapy and medical hypnotherapy, had 18 teeth removed with no needles, was in McGill University under their amphitheater for 3 hours because there was no bleeding as well. So she's a gifted, powerful person in her own way. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I brought my parents into my academy. I'm like, yeah, my parents earned their own seat at the academy.
You're really a hybrid of both of them.
Of course. Most kids are.
No, but it's like amazing. All right. Well, speaking of amazing people, I do just give a quick shout out to one of our diamond sponsors of the Laws of Life television network and platform, and that's attorney Tim Marecki. You haven't met him yet. He is a personal injury attorney in Florida. He helps people. He looks he looks at your car insurance policy. He makes sure that you have enough coverage before an accident happens. Let's take a look at Tim's message and shout him out for supporting the platform like no other. When I met Tim, he didn't even hesitate for a second. He's like, whatever you do, Blanca, I'm going to stand behind you. And it's been 3 years. And I believe in organic, natural, evolutionary marketing. That's really my philosophy.
I like that.
Where you take all of the pillars, the networking, the sponsorship,
I like that. That's cool.
Right?
That is a much larger ecosystem than I play in. For me, because I'm blessed to play with people at 9 out of 10 personally and professionally, I'm in the place of conspicuous consumption. I need you to be A, Michael Jordan, and then B, I need you to turn the can around so that everybody can clearly see that you're drinking Pepsi Cola. I need it to be conspicuous consumption.
Yeah, conspicuous. That's also important. But I think when the relationships happen through the networking, and I was really impressed with your networking yesterday, everybody make sure that you visit Natan's website. Okay, it's called www.essentialacademy.org. So you have a hybrid. There are networking opportunities. There are opportunities to learn how to build your own digital course.
Yeah.
And the two worlds of Natan and Blanca really go hand in hand together, because you can also come to the summit. You can network there. And just the more people I meet, the more and more amazing things keep happening. And this week, I've known Dr. Khalila Ali for 2 years. She's the former wife of Muhammad Ali and the championship boxer. And she's an author. She's an aviator. She's a speaker. Right now, I'm at a school in West Palm Beach.
You sound so cool.
It's really fun. And the teachers and the principals here are pretty amazing. And actually, there was it's all boys here, ages 14 to 18. It's a governmental school. So these are kids that have gotten in trouble. It's a residential educational facility in Florida. There's only 35 kids in this building, though, and they don't even realize how lucky they are that they have food, that they have shelter, that they have education. And these classrooms are massive. I'm sitting in the teacher's office right now. Now, one of the kids was blind, and she asked everybody in the room, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I want to be a singer. I want to be the next Ray Charles. I literally almost cried. I was like, but I guess just seeing her and her power has really influenced me. And it just, listening to the same speech these kids are listening to reminds me that when we do surround ourselves with people that believe that anything is possible, like that quintuple flip of these Olympians or whatever the next level step is, we can do it. And you also encourage me and all the entrepreneurs you guide through your academy to do that. So what's next for Natan? What is your Olympic dream?
To get the academy to a place where we influence and can shine a spotlight on millions. Last year during the Suicide Prevention Month, we had a gala fundraiser for the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. One of our instructors was the founder for it. It was a 7-hour recorded gala. We had a dozen Cirque du Soleil performances. Callie Tucker, Tanya Tucker's niece from The Voice finalist, came. We had Nick Stanistanos, one of 4 people on earth with one finger on one arm, no other legs. He was on Tony Robbins' stage. He went backstage just to talk to us. And in that 7-hour Survivor story and release and such, there was so much content, so much awareness, so much money obviously raised for such good causes. That's what we do.
Wow. So your job, your mission is to share your vision with
If your
millions.
light isn't currently shining on millions, and if you're somebody that does something good, then that's not right. We need to correct that wrong.
I love it. So your gala, was it a live or a hybrid event?
It was hybrid. Sorry, it wasn't live. It was 100% virtual because it was international. In those 7 hours, we had people performing Cirque du Soleil, some pre-recorded, some live. So we had if you know, trampoline wall, where there's a trampoline and a wall, and they were running up it. That was at 4:00 in the morning in Brazil. And I'm like, I don't want to do that at 4 in the afternoon. That was crazy. We had incredible groups. But those are an example of, if you're here and you want to do something different, and you've already ran through all the hoops and bells and whistles, and you're like, I'm a good person, I do good work, I've been online, I'm just struggling with some things, or I'm actually doing great. Okay, great at your level is awesome. Did you want to, would it be okay if we improve that? Or if you're comfy and happy, by all means stay. But if there's a level and there's a way to bring you up and a way to bring you out, that's where I focus on. The most incredible people in the world want to come and work with us, gift us, because the community is so heartfelt. That we're here to help. We're here to raise each other's, like the tide raises all boats for all of us. We're also here to make sure that others get help. And I don't believe that I'm here to date. I'm here to get married. So if I'm going to take the time and effort to pick somebody and bring them into our community and serve all of us, I'll hold your vision for you until you can hold it for yourself.
That's true. And sometimes it does take other people believing in the vision before you see it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's wonderful. So you have a pretty massive vision to reach millions of individuals, and you coordinated this event yourself, or you had some people helping you?
I've been blessed. Well, obviously we have internal teams and external teams, but when I started, it was a couple $100 to join us lifetime, and it was me putting my arms around, let's give it a try, woohoo, best effort. And we had no darn clue what the heck we were doing at all, literally watching YouTube videos. And now, a year and a half later, going into our 2-year anniversary, we're on 137 channels in Roku.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you for that, my dear. We're working on getting not-for-profit status and $10,000 a month in free Google ads. We're working on international course accreditation to make sure that the people that want to reach millions, we have so many people waiting to just go, this is worth a course credit? Done. Sign me up. I have loans.
Now that's true. How are you going to do that? How are you going to get the accreditation?
The joy of being who we are and only handpicking the most incredible instructors like yourself and only putting on the most one-off courses means that schools like International Schooling Corporation in Singapore took a look in a meeting with us yesterday and said, okay, I've never seen courses like this. Wow. All right. We are going to individually accredit you course by course. This is incredible. So my instructors get a chance to step up. You want to make courses for the rest of the world, charge a couple $1,000, and I'm online and I want to learn some stuff. Cool, go for it. You want to make courses for K-12 or for early college or for postgraduate, go for it. And we will support you internally, technically. We will promote the crap out of you externally and make sure that your message goes to millions.
That's truly phenomenal. Can you share with us an example of a teacher that's in your platform that has a unique course and just give us a little insight into what we learn in it?
My goodness, yes, of course. So let's take somebody like, let's take Renee Leighton from South Africa, Montessori trained facilitator, early childhood educator, masters in all that wonderful world, plays in the K-12 space. And her course is The Leighton Way of Play, where we wanted it to be interesting. And this is also an interesting example of not imposter syndrome, but some of the fears and doubts and concerns that we all have, especially when we come to pricing and money stuff online. Okay, so I don't want to be like this and I don't want to be like that. I'm like, okay, well, who are the people that need your course, Renee? The best people who need my course can't pay for it at all. They're in the bushes. They barely have electricity. They would love this. This would help them. It would relate to them. It would make a huge difference. I said, okay. So then instead of $1,000 reduced to $500, we raised the price to $5,000. And now we go to an NGO. Now we go to people and governments and organizations and departments of education that have budgets that will lose them if they don't spend them. They just need to validate that this is a legitimate thing. And if you can show them that it is, especially if it's built on an LMS, a learning management system, especially if they look at the faculty and everyone's got MBAs and PhDs, especially if they understand the courses and what we're doing, they go, okay, this makes sense. So then they paid for that to go to those other villagers. But then separately, up front, we were able to take 100 people and bring them in through that program. And the imposter syndrome part comes from when we were pricing that. When I said it's $1,000, and she's like, I got to give this much cheaper. People in South Africa can't afford this. I said, whoa. The people that are paying $20,000 a year for their kid in grade 4 to go to elementary goddamn school can pay $500 to teach the kid how to play according to the damn rules for the person who's teaching them. This is specific to Montessori training. So in that capacity, we all have a couple steps to step up and go, you know what? I charge X amount per hour. Whatever the number is irrelevant. If I added a zero to it, would you feel uncomfortable?
Wow. So you're really thinking out of the box, and you're taking opportunities, and you're going to build your platform by coming up with these concepts like meeting investors, meeting platforms, utilizing grants, and that's going to help your teachers too. It becomes a global win.
Right.
And no, that's amazing. And candidly, a lot of courses out there don't have that energy. So you sort of bring that energy globally throughout the platform. You sort of sprinkle a little magic across all your teachers and help them keep up.
I try. If you're going to spend the money, if you're going to be one of those people, like you and I are people at 9 out of 10, personally and professionally, we spend thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars a year on our own development, our own personal growth. I go to summits, I have coaches, I have trainers. I've never heard of an Olympian ever in any sport ever who didn't have a coach. Have you?
Never.
Doesn't happen, doesn't work. Stop it. Just stop it. Whatever level of success that you've come to yourself, good for you. Stop it. Now go get somebody who's got 3 steps beyond you, and yes, listen to what they say and then do what they say because you paid them.
Who's your favorite? Who's been the most important coach in your development of the Essential Academy? Videographer, leader, influencer, anyone who's influenced you the most during this pandemic?
One of the people that's been an incredible advisor to me is somebody that I find a beautiful, perfectly balanced person, masculine and feminine, and perfectly balanced in terms of, okay, there's a money part, but there's also a cosmic part. Perfectly balanced in the sense that I don't know anyone more fluid and more fluent in the language of money. He speaks 6 or 7 dialects of money. So when I say fluent in money, okay, you know money this way, you know money this way. How many ways do you know money? How many ways how does money work with you? And I don't mean how many revenue streams you have. So if you have an MBA, that means you know money. You clearly freaking understand money, but you understand it in a very specific way, right? What if you were a fund manager and you raised billions of dollars in a network fund? What if you were a bank manager? What if you were an investment fund builder? What if you did all of that overseas and foreign for 30 years? And then you stopped at India and became a yoga instructor? What if you stopped all of these multi-million-dollar things because your last company you sold for 10 digits and exited very, very successfully? You clearly speak many languages of money, no? Make it, earn it, teach it, sell it, raise it. That's what I mean by fluid in money. I needed somebody who could explain it to me in different languages that I've never even thought of.
So he opened your mind.
He opened my mind and explained it very clearly that it really categorically doesn't matter if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Find somebody who does. It really doesn't matter if you don't know what that next step is. See somebody who's gone a step before you. It really doesn't matter if you feel that you don't have the strength. Find somebody and lean on them. They'll lend you some strength.
So we're gonna meet this person that influenced you so much?
You might. He's a special guy. Yes, absolutely. Mr. Dave Rogers is he's not just an instructor with us, he's actually in our advisory board. I couldn't pull this off just thinking that I'm the smartest person in the room. So I've had an advisory board since day one. People that know way more than me and awesome things that can do much more than me and have gone much farther than me. Keep me humble, keep me grounded, keep me focused, keep me future driven, keep the conversation centered on service leader.
How often do you meet with your advisory board?
Every week.
Every week?
We don't play.
Wow, that's commitment. You must.
We
And how many people serve on the board?
Oh God, it changes. So we've just actually lowered that down. We're now going down to monthly meetings because the amount of woomph that I'm doing internally is huge. So if it was just me burning the midnight oil, it's one thing, but we have internal teams. We've created a sister company, the Essential Agency, where we have people who used to do the back end and all the tech support for Tony Robbins, for Laurel, who did The Secret. They've done that and they've stood on those stages in the nicest, kindest way. When people puff up their chest and get all like, I wrote a book and I do this and I'm this and that, I'm like, great. My people can look at you and say, when was the last time that you made 7 digits on stage at an event that you produced? Oh, sorry, too many let's take one off. When was the last time you made 5 digits? No product launches at 4 digits? We need to talk. That's what we do on the back end for the people that are at that level and ready to go.
So you also offer the services to help with launches. Does that apply to authors too? Book launches? Okay. Well, that's another whole arena where we can also collaborate.
That's perfect. My book went out on February 2nd, Groundhog Day, my birthday. And
Woo!
I made it as a book launch and a birthday bash.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay on that. I want to go. And can we still see the gala that you produced?
Yes, the gala is available. I'll have to talk to the lady. It's Jackie Simmons. She's the director for the Teen Suicide Prevention Society. She's an instructor. Her daughter, Katie Miller, also an instructor in one of our technical production team. So yes, let me connect with them. But that would be absolutely something that you people should be able to benefit from and see. I don't know how they're doing it on the back end with ticket sales. It was in September, but yes, 100%.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you can believe it, we only have 2 minutes left in the show.
Oh.
What is you are an amazing co-host. Welcome to the Laws of Life Television Network. Welcome to the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs. I know we're going to do a lot of empowering of entrepreneurs together.
Yes.
What's your number one law today of how an entrepreneur becomes empowered?
Oh, remember nothing more than no matter what, your 80%, somebody else is 100.
I like that.
No matter what, you're looking at yourself going, got these people that are 2-3 steps ahead of me, and how do I get there? And how do I do that thing? There's people that are 2-3 steps behind you that would give their left arm for your problems and your concerns. How do I get more engagement with hundreds of people in an international private community? That's my concern. They're like, how the hell do you have a private international community? What? So there is so much power in my 80%. It's someone else's 100.
Wow. Never forget the power and never underestimate your 80%. You're right. And be grateful for what you have achieved. Look at the people that have achieved more. Surround yourself with inspiring and empowering entrepreneurs. And join us here every Thursday at 11 a.m. with Natan and Blanca, the Laws of Empowering Entrepreneurs, broadcasting to the Roku channel and 137 other distribution channels. If you would like to have your own show, then connect with me at thelawsoflife.shop. And be sure to connect with Natan at www.essentialacademy.org. Natan, your premiere show was epic, as I knew it would be.
Thank you so much, Blanca. What a wonderful treat. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure, and we look forward to many more amazing episodes. Everyone, stay positive, stay empowered, and we'll see you next time.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion. wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.